Wednesday, 9:15 at Werburgh Street Labour Exchange. Martin Cahill arrives to collect the dole. Like the rest in these queues, Martin Cahill has full entitlement to dole money. He claims on a wife and 3 children, address given 21 Swan Grove. Personal number GD 126702. Unemployment assistance of £92 10p per week plus £5 fuel voucher. Martin Cahill is 38 years old. His Dublin criminal record number 275770. His first conviction was in 1961 at the age of 11, larceny, for which he got probation. After a number of similar convictions, he got his first term in 1963 for housebreaking, 1 month. 1965, housebreaking and larceny, 2 years. 1970, receiving stolen property, 4 years, with another 4-year and 3-month conviction alongside. 1977, larceny of a motor car, 3 years. This man has come to Garda attention for years. The latest Garda Criminal Intelligence Bulletin on him is dated September 1987. His description is given as Martin Cahill, nicknamed the General. Addresses 17 Cowper Downs and 21 Swan Grove. About armed crime and the Garda operation that's on at the moment. I just want to get to meet you. I knew you came down here.
Yes, I have a witness here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
Right, I'm Brendan O'Brien. He turns to an innocent bystander to witness my approach. At the moment on various things about crime and the Garda operation and all of that.
What Garda operation?
Well, I know there's surveillance and all that.
There's no surveillance, I mean.
Well, we're aware that there's surveillance.
No.
Well, they've been sitting outside your house and all that.
No, they're not sitting outside mine.
Right, well, anyway.
No, we're sitting out.
I just wanted to get to meet you, right? Yeah. His every movement is watched and followed. On the pavement, 2 detectives walk close. On the road, an unmarked Garda car hovers.
The rat mine's rapist. No, the Garda.
No.
All the women in rat mine.
All right, you're Martin Cahill, right?
Yeah.
You live in 21 Swan Grove.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Right. There are guys sitting outside your house in cars every morning.
Of course, I never see them.
24 hours a day, between there, Cowper Downs, and wherever you go.
No, never see them. Serious, no, I don't see them.
Right, Martin, right. Why does everybody, i.e. the guards and criminal people, say Martin Cahill is the General?
Never, no one ever said it to me.
Well, I'm saying that that's what people say. You've seen it in the papers, you've seen it, you know, you've seen it published.
No, it's not. It must be someone else. It must be another Martin Cahill somewhere.
Right, okay, there might be another. I've no doubt that there is another Martin Cahill, but there isn't another one who lives in 21 Swan Grove under Garda surveillance,
right? I understand your job, but I see no surveillance.
Right.
I see nothing.
Yeah. Well, who do you think the General is?
I don't know. Some army officer.
I'm sure there is an army officer called the General. There's also
the way the country is these days, you wouldn't know.
Why have the guards circulated notices about Martin Cahill, known as the General, wanted for armed robberies in Mallow and Clonmel and other places around the country? Why have they done that?
Well, you must be just trying to blacken me for some reason. Oh, I probably know it. Why they're blackening me. It's Ned Ryan. I complain about him.
But what do you know of the senior police officer who's now under armed protection?
There's no one about him.
Yeah.
No interest in the police, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've no interest.
Well, what people would say is, why do you draw the dole?
Because I'm unemployed.
Yeah. But your lifestyle doesn't look like a man on the dole.
I mean, I ain't trying to get a job.
You're in Anco,
Anchor, yes.
trying to get a job.
Trying to get a job, yes.
Doing what?
Centre the labour. Send me down. I'm trying to get a job as a labourer, anybody.
Yeah.
Any.
Yeah. Why do you walk everywhere with your hand over your face then? What's the point in that?
It started about 7 years ago. Detectives then said to me that they're going to put somebody somewhere to accuse me of something. Do you understand? And they're going to get them to pick me out. Well, I've been doing this for about 7 years.
Your brother got 10 years for the Bellegarde, manager of the Bellegarde pub, beating him with an iron bar.
Committing a crime.
Not all right, but he got 10 years for a serious crime.
Yeah, 10 years.
Eddie. Well,
Yeah, 10 years.
Well, he got... I thought he got 10 years, 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
What did he get?
I think he got 7 years.
Well, 7 years, right. 7 years. Well, it was a serious crime.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, if you take the...
I asked Martin Cahill if he knew anything about the Killikee operation on the stolen Rusborough House paintings.
There were pictures shown to an art expert, so to speak, from Holland. This was a deal to be done with a Dutch guy.
No, nothing about that. And then you're saying something about 4 roads.
Later, he himself returned to the subject of the paintings.
You know it well.
But I know there's another person who was interested in them. A private detective.
Yeah. Who's interested in the paintings?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Some private detective.
But who is it, though? Or where is he?
And he made me a private detective. Find him as well. But I know nothing more about it. I've asked people and no one knows.
How do you mean they made you a private detective?
I'm a private detective.
You are a private detective?
I work for a company.
You work for a company?
Yeah.
What's the company?
The Cahill investigation.
Yeah. Right. And what do you do for them?
When there's a job, I ask you like that, you'll ask me, come down, and if I know something about anything like that, you give me a job.
Yeah. Who's that?
Mr. Lynch.
Noel Lynch. Yeah. And you work for him. You call yourself a private detective as well?
I'm a private detective, yeah.
Surely that's the joke of the century. I mean, the idea that you should be a private detective when the guards have you under such surveillance and they have you listed for all kinds of things.
He named another close associate as a private detective. A man who is before the courts for armed robbery.
He's on standby.
You don't mind me laughing, but I do think that's very amusing, yeah. He's on standby, is he, for a job?
Job, yeah. Private detective job.
Oh, I know what you're saying, yeah.
So if there's anything that he wants to say, like some person wants to find something, then he said he should ask him. Does he know anything about it?
Yeah. I see. And does Martin Foley work for the private detective agency as well?
He is, yeah.
Why do the cops not?
But back on the subject of the paintings, I asked Martin Cahill if he thought the Gardaí had been outsmarted up in Killikee.
The police are never outsmarted. And if anyone says any different, those police are very, very clever. And it's... You've been rumours that Martin Cahill says that I said it, you're right? You're right. That the police are hicks and all like that. No such thing. I never say anything like that. Because they want to give the impression, right, that there's a big gangster somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you understand? A dangerous man.
Yeah.
That he's frightening everyone. And they're probably believing what they're saying themselves.
They've received a lot of threats though in recent days.
Probably they don't make it. I'm paranoid.
Martin Cahill had stood talking on the pavement for an hour and a quarter, all the time with his hand over his face. Passers-by wonder at it.